My name is Joseph, this is Isaac, and this is Dylan. We're three engineering students from the University of Tasmania, and we're taking part in the City of Launceston's Civil Engineering Cadetship program. This is a summer work experience program that allows participants to gain insights into the local government engineering sector, as well as practical experience on the ground. For 10 weeks, we've been learning about infrastructure, hydraulic modelling, project delivery, sustainability, and drones. But on top of that, we're undertaking arguably our most important task, building a cardboard boat to carry the Mayor and Deputy Mayor safely across Waverley Lake at this year's Soggy Bottom Cardboard Boat Regatta. We've set out to learn everything we possibly can about the art of cardboard boat building. Along the way, we've spoken to experts, tested prototypes, and overcome obstacles. Our goal is to build the best possible cardboard boat within the strict rules of the event. This is our story. We've just finished testing the two scale models and we're pretty happy with how they both performed. We're going to take aspects of both of them for the full scale prototype that we're going to make. So we're going to take Dylan's structural system and we're going to use my hull design, and we're also going to still have the two hulls, so the bottom hull and then the second hull. So yeah, I think if we combine those two aspects we should get a pretty good prototype. We're going to change the dimensions a little bit because with both of the prototypes, this might have just been an issue with scaling or something like that, but both the prototypes were a bit too long, so we're probably going to shorten that down. But apart from that, take those two aspects, smash them together, hopefully have a good prototype.
Yeah, both the scale models work really well, both of them perform very well, and definitely highlighted some of the elements that really can be, incorporated into the final full-scale prototype. That should work quite well. And even smaller elements like the cardboard cutout going across the top to hold the sides in and keep them rigid. Things like that, small things like that definitely can, and just how we folded and joined everything as well. There's always the manufacturing, insights that come from building a prototype that all should help out on the final build. Yep. But overall, yeah, really good success, I think.
Yeah, and it's a common thing to not have one design be completely perfect. We're taking aspects of both of our designs, even though we both thought we had the best design. Really,
I don't know about that.
yeah, really, the best design was actually a combination of both ideas.
So my only question is now, where do we build this boat? Obviously, it's going to be a fair bit larger than the prototypes. Do we have space here in Town Hall?
I don't know if we actually have space here in Town Hall. Is there somewhere else we can build it? Do you have in mind?
We could potentially do it out at Remount Road. I know they've got a few workshops out there, and transport would obviously be a lot easier with its proximity to the tip shop, and also the vehicles available at Remount Road. I'll have a quick chat to Greg, who is the road services manager out at Remount Road, and see if he's actually happy for us to use one of his workshops.
Yeah, we're making a big assumption that we can actually have a workshop.
So, because we want to build the boat out of a single sheet of cardboard, or the hull out of a single sheet of cardboard, rather than joining cardboard, because joins are the weakest link, that means we have to try and get the biggest possible pieces of cardboard that we can from the recycling centre. Unfortunately, neither Joseph, myself, or Luke can drive a truck, which means that transporting all these massive pieces of cardboard is quite difficult.
Come on, you need a bigger car!
So I've just been over to Remount Road, where I've spoken to Greg Oliver, who is in charge of the road crews, and he's kindly offered to lend me both a truck and a driver tomorrow at 9 to come pick up all the cardboard and transport it wherever I want. So that's good news.
Did you talk to him about the notion of building there?
I did. I said, can we build a boat in one of your workshops? First he laughed in my face. Then he said, how big of a boat? I said roughly 2 meters. He said, out of what? I said cardboard. He then laughed in my face again and said no, basically, and that was kind of the end of the conversation.
But, was it because he did it, do you think he'll come around, or is that a firm no? Or was it like he doesn't really know?
Firm.
Did he think you were joking?
Greg and I actually get along quite well. We're good buddies, so I think I could actually twist his arm enough to get him to say yes if we really want to do it there. I think the main thing is before we waste any more of Greg's time, we've got to be certain we want to do it there. So maybe we'll have a chat to Isaac today, and if he says yes, then I'll go talk to Greg about it a bit more. Actually, you know, it'd be really good. We should convince him to say yes to us, because then you can go from me being like, Greg laughed in my face, you can cut straight to us being in. So here we are in Greg's workshop building our boat. That'll work really well. So here we are in Greg's workshop, ready to build our boat. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. So here we are actually in Town Hall, ready to build our boat, and it's time to get to work. While I've been in here working away, people have decided to take it upon themselves to come in and offer their myriad of opinions, and oftentimes those opinions are questioning the validity of the design and questioning whether or not the boat will work, or even get out the door in some cases. So that's fun.
What have you been saying though?
I have been polite. I have remained polite with willpower. In terms of boat building, I think we're really pioneering in this boat. So if you look here, when the boat's got a bit more structural rigidity to it, it will sit like this. And these angles in here are roughly, it's hard with cardboard because it's not as precise as you'd like. We've folded it and it just doesn't fold where you want to. But when this boat is held rigid, the angles should be between about 56 and 60 degrees. So it was quite a challenge to actually get the side to fold up and this part to fold up and meet.
Okay, so right now we've got the preliminary frame kind of done. We just need to get the third tube kind of lined up and cut holes for that. And then we'll have the subframe of the cardboard done. After that, we need to do an interior hull, do bracing for the sides, which should be pretty simple, we think, but just making sure. And then tape it all together. Because at the moment, our tape joins are just preliminary because we weren't sure final shape, so we need to go over all those as well. Make sure she's watertight.
With the full-scale prototype complete, we invited Lee from the Rotary Club of Youngtown and Maddie from Rotaract to watch us test it. Along with being one of the founders of the event, Lee has also competed multiple times in the Regatta. While we put the finishing touches on our prototype, we attempted to shake a few design ideas out of him.
You've been clever because without the double skin, when they jump in, they bring water in with them. And so what will happen here, that'll just drain. So it'll
you'll
keep...
find it hard maybe getting into it and getting it off and running.
Yeah.
But that's,
Still, that's all
you
the
guys
challenges.
are smart about it. No one,
Yeah,
no one
that's
else
great.
out here practicing.
No. Think where the stresses are.
So more tape, the more strength.
As a engineer myself, take some of those up and over the top.
Up and over the top. Yeah, but then it looks like we've taped too much. Like I'm wondering how much we can get away with.
Well, you can't, not too much, because I've got a boat. I've got a boat in my garage at home that we built 3 years ago that's now illegal.
Yeah.
There's too much tape on it.
Yeah.
My name is Lee Dyson. I'm one of the founding members of the Soggy Bottom Regatta that was initiated by the Youngtown Rotary Club back 3 years ago. This is our 4th year. People come with a cardboard box boat that they've built themselves, and they're all shapes and sizes, small ones and large ones. And they start off on the beach here. This is our fabulous little Waverley Lake beach, and they all assemble on the far end, and they run out into the water and they paddle out to a buoy about 30 or 40 metres out. And when they get to that buoy, they've got to turn left and paddle along parallel to the beach, and then they've got to turn left and come back into the beach and run up the shore. And that's the race. Now, some don't quite make it, and that's why we call it Soggy Bottom, because they are cardboard boats, but some are very skillful. We have a couple of Rotary clubs that are very serious. They want to win. But we have rules. I mentioned before, my first boat that I built with my family, my daughter and grandkids sailed in it, and they won the family race. But at the end of it, people said, not fair, too much tape covering it over. It's supposed to sink. So we have rules now that you can't cover it with too much tape because it's not designed to last forever. One of the reasons we do it is to have fun, but one of the principal reasons is to raise money. So each year our club board canvass around, talks to people and decides the people who are going to be the receivers of the funds we make. Now, the first year we focused on young kids from disadvantaged families who had diabetes, and we helped them buy some instruments to help their life improve. Over the next 2 years we had a range of different community groups that we provided service for. This year it's the diabetes community again, but we are supporting kids going to camps. And so the kids go to camps and realise that they're not unique, that there are some people around them just like them, and they get confidence and learn from each other. Well, the secret to success is having it float, mostly. That's the primary one. It doesn't get you far if it sinks far. So the design, some of the groups actually trial and test boats on their own pools and make sure they come along here. The school groups do that. So the secret to success is actually having tested the design and then knowing how to jump in and not fall out. We've had wonderful boats that the kids can't get in because they're in too deep a water, and so they just push it rather than paddle it. The council's approach of testing before trial and working is the classic scientific method. Everything's a theory until you test it and see if it works.
People say I need to get a little action. People say my love life is fiction. People say I wouldn't give them no satisfaction. Well, I wouldn't know, it's beyond my imagination. I keep my pants up high and my zipper closed, and people wonder why I never get rid of those awesome looking sunglasses that I got off of eBay at a special price. Anyway, you get the picture right. People love to hate a play no matter wrong or right. What I like makes no difference. As they go, get a life. I go. Yeah, I go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, go.
Cardboard box.
No matter what you people
Right, so we're on Waverley Lake with our first full-scale prototype of our Soggy Bottom cardboard boat. So far the bottoms are not very soggy, but the boat's still made out of cardboard. Beautiful 37-degree day in Launceston, and so far the bottoms are not soggy. Joseph, how are you going back there?
Doing alright, doing alright. I must say I am a little bit soggy, but I think that's because of my own fault of scooping water into the boat.
What do you think?
Oh, I think you're on a winner. I mean, just there's no chance of that singing unless someone does something stupid.
So we started off with Dylan and Joseph in the boat, then I jumped in with Joseph, and then we've just had all three of us. We've gone for a bit of a sail around the lake.
There's three of us out, including Joseph.
Hello.
Hi. In the middle of the lake. But it's still holding up surprisingly well, actually. So.
Combined mass here, over 200 kilos. And things were going quite swimmingly until they weren't. So we started taking on water from the front, and then from the back, and then from all sides. And then so ultimately, our wreck of a cardboard box boat is now over there. But all in all, it was quite successful, and we're moving on to our full-scale design now for the day. Before the boat started sinking, it was going quite well. We went for quite a wide and sort of short design, so it wasn't the most manoeuvrable boat in the world, but considering it was made out of cardboard, it was doing quite well. We were able to turn slowly and we were going all right in a straight line, but buoyancy wise we did a lot better than expected, so things are looking quite promising.
So this is the post-mortem of the boat. We can see the remnants after we eventually sunk. As you can see, the inner hull here is completely intact. There are no holes. I think the water has just gradually seeped through over time, increasing the weight of the boat. But in terms of how long it spent out in the water, we're really happy. And the tubular system that holds it all above water is still completely fine. So probably still even floats. We can test that actually. So the inner tube system still floats.
I've just watched the prototype being tested, and from a Youngtown Rotary point of view, we're scared stiff.